of Adventurers Wanted Rebellion. My name is Leo, and I will be your GM for this morning. This is a relaxed performance, which means we have a relaxed attitude to sound and movement from the audience for the benefit of people who would struggle to sit still or stay silent for an entire hour.
Like Chris.
Like Chris, apparently. The lights are going to stay exactly like this. There shouldn't be any loud noises. I've just remembered what I forgot to do the last hour. And if you do feel like you need a break, you can stick your head out and do feel free to come back whenever you're ready. Our stage manager is just behind you, over your right shoulders, Naomi. If you do need anything, grab her. Don't grab her. Get her attention. And she'll be happy to help.
It's not that relaxed.
So this is a tabletop role-playing game. How does that work? Well, the four people on my left and right have individual unique characters that they play in a fantasy setting. As the games master, I play the fantasy setting. Everything else, the horrible creatures that they have to fight, the scared commoners that they're going to have to talk down, and sometimes even the weather. To try and keep things fair as we interact with one another... we use dice, the most common being the 20-sided die here, or D20 as you may hear us call it, 20 being good, 1 being hilariously bad. The story so far. So the four people on my left and right are members of a rebellion which has thrown off the imperial cult that they've recently, for the last 5 years, been enslaved by. They united the local region and they marched on the capital Goldcrest, and they took it in a night-long battle, which was hard won. But sadly they were not able to cut off the head of the snake, so to say, and the leader of the cult escaped through a portal. Last hour, we just found them trying to establish some kind of governance. That debate seems to be settled, but it may come back. We'll see. And we just left them, having dealt with a horrible creature, to a somewhat panicked hostage-type looking situation. So we'll see how they deal with that. Before we jump straight back into the action, though, why don't we meet our players and their characters? So starting with yourself, give us your name, your character's name, your pronouns, and tell us a little bit about where they're at the moment.
Hi, I'm Chloe. I use she, her pronouns, as does my character Flair, who's a fire genasi bard, so kind of magical music stuff, and also like coloured in red and flames instead of hair. And also she talks like this, and it's an entirely fictional accent that I can manipulate and do whatever I want with without technically being wrong. And she spent the last hour, she went into a fight, ready to really fight, and then basically fell down a cliff and did not contribute much at all.
But if I remember correctly, she believes that she got
she
the
believes
killing blow.
Because the person who killed this huge monster that was right next to her was invisible. So as far as she's concerned, she just magically killed this whole thing. And so she's feeling weirdly like bolstered by that, but also she did trip full 70 feet and really hurt herself. So swings and roundabouts.
On my left here.
Hello, I'm Chris. I use he, him pronouns. But my character, Kess, uses she, her. She is a human monk. Not the brightest, but always happy to lend a hand.
Fantastic.
I'm James. I use he, him also, and so does my character, Gregor Bloodgrip, who's a dwarf barbarian with a sometimes unhealthy fascination with shapely rocks and such. But he gets mucked in. Likes explosions a lot, but he often gets vetoed when explosions are due.
Yeah, for good reason.
Well, you say. I think the top of the mountain exploding would have been fun.
We'll come to that later. That's not this episode.
Hi, my name's Joseph. Both me and my character use the same, which is like he. And character in question is Jameson Crow, who just goes by James for short. He's a human storm sorcerer.
Fantastic.
And incredibly biased fan of inclement weather.
Nice. So where we just left it, a Furbolg paladin, a Furbolg being this bovine, cow-like, blue-skinned, 7-foot creature, has barged down a door and started going up some steps, but has frozen in place, having heard something or other. Why don't we throw actually to... Sorry, what was your name again?
It's Gregor.
Gregor. I thought it was. Why don't we throw to Gregor? Gregor, you see your friend Worf, a fellow barbarian, standing with a basket of bread and breakfast meats, surrounded by Braldrin, the barbarian leader, female barbarian leader. You've got Simon there, who's been leading the rebellion from the beginning. You've got Ilassi, an elf, a young elf ranger, as well as Nils, who's a sort of older, more venerated sorcerer. And they're all... Oh, and Gashik, the lizard person, who you broke out of the prison last night to help with the fighting. All of those, plus your 3 friends here, and Kidmat, hope you keep on track, everyone, are stood outside of this house, and they seem to be having a chinwag at the moment.
I amble up to them, grab Worf and just say, alright, what's going on here then?
I mean, apple.
I've somehow become a policeman.
Kess, you come from the opposite direction, eating an apple, doing tricks with it because you're a monk, of course.
Hello.
Chris's character and I, Kess, have a strange relationship because whenever she is playing, I always manage to roll very low against her, and I have not hit her yet. At all.
No, not once.
The time local.
So you see this. Well, okay. Well, why don't we throw to Flair and James then? You see Kidmat freeze in place on the stairs.
Oh wait, does it look like... Is it just him stopping, or does it look like a magical freeze from where we are?
Roll an insight check.
Is he going into the house?
Yes, he's
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
he's up
stairs.
the stairs.
He's on the stairs inside the house.
13.
18.
18. No, it looks like he's just trying to be really cautious. It looks like it's almost as if he's just spotted a trap in front of him and he's stopped.
I'm gonna go with his intuition on this and also stop,
Okay.
What's happening inside the house?
because then I could barge into the back of him and that would just make things even worse.
Can I have some of those
You don't
meats
know.
and cheeses?
What's happening inside the house?
I'm trying to
Hello.
peer around his shoulder.
Wait.
I tried to peer around
Can
his
I
shoulder.
see-
No, one at a time.
I tried to peer around his shoulder, but he's 7 foot tall, and I realised that that's not going to work. So then I tried to peer under his arm
The human.
and see what's going on.
Your hair's
Okay,
on
roll.
fire. You're peering under his arm.
Yeah, she forgets. She forgets.
We'll make him get out of the way though.
Yeah, he yelps, and he wasn't on very much hit points anyway. He yelps and goes, "Oh boy, I better get out of here," and runs down the stairs and away, out of our game. Because his player is not here.
Oh my god, I think it must be something really scary in front of him if he ran away.
Kess has walked up saying, "What's going on in the house?"
We don't know!
Am I at the back of this column? Am I like this?
Everyone
this,
alright
like,
in
group
there?
on the staircase? Am I at the back of it?
Well, it's now just us on the staircase.
Are you the one in front?
I think I'm probably a bit in front because I was peering.
So if I was to lean backwards, would I be able to get into line of sight of Kess?
Yes.
Okay, I lean backwards and cantrip message. Hostage situation, bloody shush.
You need any help?
I'll get back to you on that one.
Can you roll a perception check?
Oh, okay.
That is a 23.
So from upstairs, through a window, a battened window,
Yes.
you hear, "We do not need any help! I've already asked you to stay away!"
So,
I think they want us to go away, guys.
Do I hear this?
Yes.
Could I incite his voice?
Absolutely.
Or is it obvious that he's...
It's obvious that he's in much distress.
Well, I feel we should go and see what he needs and perhaps gift him some of these artisanal cheeses. Don't mind if I do, Worf. Thanks.
Ilassi turns
Good.
to Gashik and says, "Hey, listen, man. We could go up the side, in through the window, and knock him out before he even knew what hit him." Yes, that sounds like something we could do. Yes.
Cool. Can I do step of the wind, please?
What would you like to use Step of the Wind to do?
Run up the side of the building, flip in through a window, see the guy, and knock him unconscious.
Right, so you're just actioning their plan.
They suggested a good plan. I have an intelligence of 9.
Which is only slightly below average.
I agree.
I'll remind you again.
Totally. Yeah. She's kind of a do-it kind of person.
Right, roll an acrobatics check.
Well, probably about the same time as this. I am trying to very gently walk closer and like kind of hands up. Like, I'm not going to do anything, guys, but just trying to see if I can get in and calm people down.
A charisma check. Bard.
Just charisma. Just charisma. That's a 5.
Okay, as you come up the stairs and turn round the corner, you can see that this man has his whole family here, 2 kids, his seemingly his wife, and as you see them and he sees you, he turns with his large hammer that he had before and goes, "No! Stay back!"
Okay, I won't come any closer, but maybe no one needs to get hurt at all.
We've already been hurt so much by this world!
That was a 19 on the acrobatics check.
Okay, so you manage to easily, you run up the wall and hold yourself with the battened window, but it is locked shut.
Can I follow her up, digging my hand into the brickwork itself, more athletic-like?
Okay.
Play into a dwarf's strengths.
I think I punched the window.
Okay, you can do that. Yeah, absolutely. Roll a strength check for me.
Oh God, really?
Yes.
16.
16? Yeah, you're pretty slow about it though.
That's a 9.
A 9. You smack the window
Ow!
and hurt your hand. At this point, the guy that you're trying to negotiate with, there's a loud on the battened window behind him, and he turns around and swings his hammer.
No.
Well,
Just out of shock. That's one of those where it like hanged on an edge for a second. But yeah, he swings his hammer and the kid just manages to duck out of the way as he brings his hammer around and goes, "Get away from the window!"
Wait!
She will definitely hear.
It's just have you heard of something called a knock knock joke? And I want to cast Tasha's hideous laughter on him.
Nice.
Okay, so that's a charisma saving throw from me, yeah?
Yeah.
That's an 18.
God damn it!
So a knock knock. Do you want to tell your knock knock joke?
She didn't have one, so she's
Can
a
I
music
window
person,
go?
not a joke person. So it's very much like knock knock. Who's there? Someone really lovely, because the world's not that bad after all.
And he goes,
Someone really polite who knocks.
"You mocking me?"
No, I'm very tense right now.
And his wife goes up to him and goes, "We're all tense, darling. We just need you to put the hammer down." And so she's gonna try and persuade him, and you can see her hand reaches the shaft of the hammer. What would Kess do next?
I'm not going to push against the window, obviously, that's not worked. I'm going to literally make an attack roll against said window to try and smash through it.
Okay,
Because clearly people are in distress.
James, where are you at? You roll that.
I am, I guess, like a couple of stairs away from the top of the stairs. So my head's probably just like over whatever banister there is going on here.
Okay.
I can see what's going on, but like I'm out of the way a little bit.
Okay, cool. So you're just hanging back, ready, preparing something.
If he tries something and no one else is in range, I'm probably going to try to hit him with something. But that's an absolute last resort.
Yeah, because you only mostly have lethal magic, haven't
Yeah.
you? Okay.
Thankfully, a lot of it is small radius, so I've got that going for me, I guess.
What did you roll?
12.
A 12. So roll your damage.
Cool. I grab the top of the window frame, swing up, and use my entire body weight to both feet
Okay.
into the window, and I do 6 points of damage.
Okay, so you hit it and you crack the window hinges, but it's still locked at the moment.
Ow!
And as that happens, so there is an almighty clatter against the window, and as that happens, the man jumps and brings his hammer up and rolls a natural 20.
Oh
Nice.
no! Sorry.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know
That was
who
way
against
too
yet.
intense a
to
reaction.
arrest this guy.
And his wife was looking at the hammer, bringing her face closer towards the head of it as he brings it up to try and protect himself from whatever is coming through the window. She gets clipped right in the face and hits the floor unconscious.
I mean, I'm happy for you to tell me how long it takes me to do this. Flair's instinctive reaction to that is to go and try and just like monkey grab, like however big this hammer
Grapple
is.
him.
If no, not him, the hammer.
Oh, the hammer.
You know when
I mean,
someone's like holding
it's a
something and
work-
you're like,
It's like a workman's hammer. It's not a big
Oh, okay.
sledgehammer. It's like and it's also not a claw hammer that we would have. It's somewhere in between.
Okay.
Mallet would probably be
in that
modern day
case,
word for it.
like kind of one hand trying to the hammer and the other hand on his arm
So this
to
is,
try and just stabilize that.
I'm going to say this is technically a grapple check.
Yep, that's fine.
So roll your attack. Your
Is-
athletics.
Athletics. Okay, that's a 10.
Really?
Did you roll like an 11 or something?
I rolled like an 11. Yeah. I'm not even joking. I rolled an 8 plus 3. That's-
Well.
So you
Yeah.
jump.
Wow,
Okay,
this guy-
so you jump forward. You're going to have engaged him. You've grabbed the hammer, and he brings it up, and he's probably going to try and hit you with it.
Sure.
At this point. He misses entirely. So he brings the hammer up. How would you get out of his way? How would you dodge this, considering the situation?
I think just like knees immediately down so it goes over my head.
And it flies over Flair's head, warming his hand a little, like he's passing his hand through
Yeah.
10 candles. Right. At this point, I would say that Gregor would have climbed his way up to the window battens, which Kess is
Much easier
currently
way.
trying to bang in.
I'd like to attack the window.
I swing up out the way.
With what?
I'd like to punch it.
Sure.
That totally
roll
worked the
attack.
first time.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I could. Well, no. Yeah, probably bludgeoning would be best against it.
There goes
Nope.
the pin.
Oh, yeah. I'll reach around, grab my warhammer from off my back, and swing it out the window one-handed.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay, Warhammer one-handed.
Yeah, I heard it.
I just wanna have
your
the way.
shoes, I think.
17.
Yeah, that definitely hits. It's a window.
11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, that is what you needed to take this out. You needed 10. The damage threshold was 10.
Nice.
So
That is a window, huh? Not anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So coming through this window batten, you see behind you, it's broken wood splinters as this curved metal warhammer head smacks through it and claws some of the splinters out.
I have a second. I would like to climb in and jump on top of the guy.
Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, sure. Yeah, roll a grapple check.
I would like to raid while I do this.
Why? Oh, because you get advantage.
And I will grapple him and drag him over to the window.
He's really scared.
Can I duck?
Do you beat a 20?
I do not. Do you know what? I rolled a 6, so I don't beat a 23. So what
I think we're
happens is
suitable for this encounter.
the Warhammer. I'm gonna say, if you don't mind me narrating,
Yeah, go for it.
you let go of the Warhammer as it breaks down the window.
Nice.
And follow through with your momentum yourself, managing to grab the guy's shoulder and pull him in towards the window. Yes.
And stun him.
James, you've not had. I've not thrown to you for a bit.
I'm just gonna duck.
Yeah, there is a hammer flying through the window.
I am just gonna duck, and I'm also gonna ready, like, on my hands, a shocking grasp in case this guy breaks out of both of them and goes for the stairs.
Okay,
Because then I can just say no to that plan.
sure. The hammer completely misses you, by the way, if you're wondering, and the
Good.
kids. It misses the kids as well and skitters.
didn't think
to
about
the... No, you didn't, did you? Some SAS member you'd be.
I got the job done, didn't I? With minimal civilian casualties.
Yeah,
Something
minimal.
something ends, something something means.
Right.
I mean, when Flair sees this, she's just going, "Stop! Can we please just calm down? Can we please just don't do anything?"
Revive the wife.
Roll a persuasion check.
Healer.
Persuasion 23.
I
23.
can.
Nice.
I might be able to beat them.
I mean, please
Oh.
don't.
No. Insight, right? No, just a 17.
Just a 17.
Just a 17. Yeah,
Great
does
roll,
not-
usually.
Does not beat the 23. So, would you like to explain to us how Gregor calms down?
Stops raging, I guess.
I see the flames of Blaze's. Is it Blaze? Yeah.
Flare.
Flare's hair. I see the flames of Flare's hair, and I find the flickering oddly soothing, and I just go.
You just relax.
Yeah. Okay.
You leave your rage.
Okay, buddy.
I leave my rage.
Go
I'm
to
still
a-
grappling.
Go to a happy place. Kess, we throw to you. We last saw you
Funny that the
hanging
barbarians
above the
hanging
window
above the
frame.
window frame.
Can I... Now, she tends in situations where it's all a bit complicated and there's too much going on and she can't quite understand everything to just go with her instincts. So what she's going to do is flip into the window, and as she jumps past where Gregor is holding the enemy, in her mind it's just the enemy, is going to try and knock him unconscious.
Okay.
Stunning strike.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
It's a commoner.
You get advantage on this because your ally is grappling.
Good. That was a 10. That was a 13.
Yep. Hits. His AC is 10.
Excellent. This is damage to make him unconscious, so it's not
Yeah.
lethal damage.
Non-lethal.
Non-lethal damage of 8, and needs to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
No.
Cool. As I leap past and eyes half closed, not thinking again, trying not to overthink the situation and not understanding all the details, flips past and 2 fingers go in the back of the neck and twist, and he falls limp. And goes backwards.
That's
Stunned.
pretty cool.
Fantastic.
What's going on?
Is the wife
I'm
still
so
up?
confused.
At this point, so Kess flips through the window, disarms the man, essentially holding him, and the kids are run to their mother, presumably,
Is
who
she
is
unconscious?
unconscious on the floor, bleeding a little.
I run over to her and I cast Cure Wounds, only at first level because that's all I've got.
It's fine. She didn't
So-
have that many hit points.
8. Oh no, it was 11.
11 is more than she had.
Hey, she feels better than before.
Would you like to describe to us
Been
your
to a spa
magic
day.
sort of healing her, this bloody clump in her hair where she was hit by the hammer?
Basically, Flare goes over to her, reaches out, has her hand like hovering just an inch or so from there, and her hand glows a little bit, but it's a really inconsistent glow because it's like you can see almost flames flickering underneath her skin rather than just like kind of it's little flicks, and that just seems to occasionally just flick off and spark into her, and it kind of heals her up.
Knits
Yeah.
the wound. Nice. At this point, James, you feel somebody pushing past you behind, and at a glance you can see that Simon is trying to get up the stairs and into the room. Are you going to let him pass?
Can I stop him to ask him something?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, hey.
Is everything all right? What happened?
Somebody had a hammer. That somebody doesn't have a hammer anymore.
Good.
And I'd rather not make the situation worse. Maybe we should just, chill for 10, 15 seconds, let the whole thing up there blow over.
But everybody's all right.
As far as I can tell.
I've lost my ammo.
Everybody's all right. Well, you can always climb into the room and
I'm
get
still
the
hanging
hammer.
on the window.
I'm just realizing that depending on where the window is, your hammer might have gone through the banister I was hiding behind.
No, it didn't. He didn't throw it that far. He was trying to hit the window.
Okay.
It was just a momentum. Don't worry.
Because that would have been unfortunate.
The kids are understandably distressed. They are crying and they are hugging their mother as she comes back to consciousness thanks to Flare.
Can I kneel down and say, hey guys, all right, we're all good. Hello.
Roll a charisma check.
What kind of charisma
Just
check?
a charisma check.
Pure charisma.
Can Flare try to help, doing the like hi, but not always? She always forgets that she's bright red with her head on fire, and that's not comforting for small children.
I was gonna give him advantage, but now I'm not sure. Yeah, no, go on.
Thank you. 19.
19. Yeah, okay, so one of the kids is definitely like calms down. The other one just the small boy sort of hugs himself into his mother's chest, and she goes, thank you. My husband, where is he?
His neck's dangerously close to a sharp piece of glass right now.
Did you say that?
Well, where did you drop him?
Gregor.
Oh no, I stunned
It's
him
in my
Gregor's
arms, and I'm still holding onto the window.
Okay, fine.
So probably, I want to climb in.
Let him go!
All right.
But he's stunned, man.
He just
Falls onto the glass.
Slides down.
And I'd like to climb in the window as his stun drops.
He
Just
does
sort of-
indeed get cut on the glass that you've canonically put into
no.
the world. And he begins to bleed from the shoulder, at which point she screams and, carrying her small son, presumably, over, goes to try and stop the bleeding from her husband.
I'd like to help, knowing that I've saved the lives of 2 people already.
Roll a medicine check.
A turtle and a something else.
Glad that you're keeping track.
Oh, mate. Oh.
I think I might have killed him with that critical fail.
So you grab,
I can help.
You push her out of the way, and you know that you're supposed to put pressure on a wound, right?
Yeah.
So you bring your thumb and you put pressure on the wound.
Can I spot this?
Yes.
Okay.
Doing 3 points of damage as you begin to tear open what was just a small cut.
No.
Oh God! Just get away from him! Get away from him!
His
And then-
anatomy's different than a turtle. I don't know.
Get away, Gregor! And then I hold it out, but I deliberately I'm locking eyes with Gregor whilst you see the same thing happen to my hand again. I'm gonna do cure wounds, so I've only got 2 more spell
I was gonna
slots
say.
left. 8.
8, okay, yeah.
But I'm looking at him going, I can only do this so often, and it would be better if I can save it for people that you haven't just hurt for no reason.
I say to the wife, don't worry, he's a barbarian, not a doctor.
Okay, is everyone not injured now, and can we stop injuring people?
My
Right,
arms.
at this point,
My arms
I
are
don't think I've been
also.
hurt.
So we can hear this from the stairs, yeah?
the magnificent SAS duo is really stressing out the woman that you supposedly have just saved with their quips and their bedside manner. You can see that quite obviously, that this situation might escalate again if it's not diffused.
I've so little few things I can do.
The husband gasps and goes, "What happened?" And she turns and goes, "Get away! Can you just leave our house?"
All right. I grab
Sorry.
my hammer and jump out the window.
I follow.
Roll an acrobatics check.
No, not bad. 14.
Okay, you managed to land. It's not. It's,
3 point land.
Okay, well, if you want to do that, then
Take knee damage.
you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage to your knee,
Can I 3-point
as
landing?
Denpool has told us.
Can I 3-point landing next time?
You roll an acrobatics
So
check.
much
I
better.
have slow fall, Leo. No, I don't.
Aw.
Okay, roll an acrobatics check for the 3 point.
That is a natural 20.
Yep. You majestically just sort of scrape your way, and how you slow the fall is you
Okay.
sort of scrape your way down the wall, and then just gently kneel down next to him.
Hand on Gregor's shoulder. Good job, big guy.
You teach me that.
Elassie is stood in front of you.
Slow fall thing.
Elassie is stood in front of you, and she's in the middle of a debate with the others, saying, "Did it work?" She turns to you.
Yeah, all
See,
fine now.
my plan works, and you want to put this thing in charge of spying.
Hang on, who's she calling a thing?
Kashyyyk.
Well,
Hang on. Whoa now, whoa, hey now, whoa now, hey now.
how about I have
Thing
an
is strong.
Yes, Kashyyyk is not happy, but to be fair, it looks like he's heard worse before, and he's just. Thank you. They've heard worse before, and they are. They're quite happy to stay cool and calm with their title, because they've already been elected spy master.
already. Well,
If
That
they-
seems to be how things are going.
If
unless
they
you
seem fine, and if they're not offended by it, then I wouldn't get offended on their behalf.
okay.
I've got an idea. Delassie?
Elassie.
Elassie. I say Delassie and then correct. Yeah. I've got an idea, Delassie.
She's getting real
Elassie.
peeved.
Elassie?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about the two of you do it? The job. He takes charge of the more criminal underworld network. They take
That's all right.
they take charge of the more criminal underworld network, and you take charge of the more The infiltration, the SAS missions type situation.
Whoa. I was promised a seat at a table, not half a seat at a table.
Well, you'd both get a seat at the table.
You
There's
get
an
one cheek on
abundance
each.
of
You both get a
chairs,
cheek
aren't
on the seat.
No. I am your spy master, or I'm not your spy master.
there? Fine. Hey, Lassie, do you want to be spy master?
Well, yes, I think I'm qualified.
Well, there we go. It's sorted.
Hang on.
Hang on a
I'm
second,
confused
you all-
now.
Okay. Can we stop there for a second? Can we jump back up to upstairs?
Sure.
The worst
Can I
characters to
just,
be doing this.
can I just go to say one little minor thing?
Yeah.
I turn to Simon and I just go,
Yeah, can I redact my previous statement about everything being kosher? I don't think everything up there is 100% anymore.
Okay, let me go.
I stand aside. I come with him, actually.
He pushes past you and he
follow.
locks eyes with the woman, and he actually seems to know her. You don't know if he does or not, but they react to each other like they're friendly faces, and he goes, "Are you all right? I'm sorry. We're a bit blunt there, but."
Oh, I'd just like to clarify, I turn off my shocking grasp because I just realised my hands are probably still
Oh
cramped.
yeah,
I just walk up the stairs like, hi!
you weren't primed for that. And she goes, I just want these people out of my house, please. That's fine. Flair, James, thank you very much. I'll take it from here, okay?
Can I just, one last thing, apologise for the trouble. If I'd have known it was going to go down like that, I'm probably digging myself a deeper hole here. And I just turn around and walk down the stairs.
Sure. And as you say that, you can see that she begins to fume, but she's trying to keep it under control as the two kids don't really know what to do. They're torn between their mother and the fact that their father has just been attacked, but also their father was attacking them. They're very confused. They're both in tears, and you leave the situation looking a little bit of a broken mess.
I just say to Simon before I go, they'll be okay if we leave them.
I'll be fine, Flair. We'll be fine.
Okay.
fine, won't we?
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm gone.
Okay. Downstairs, you come into the middle of this debate.
All I'm saying, right, is if you said that you're either the spy master or not, she wants the job, sorted.
Yeah, but they'd both be good at it, wouldn't they?
I know, but he won't take half a. Well, it's technically a whole job. It's like two
They.
branches. Sorry.
That's all right.
That's all right. But okay, they won't take half the job, and she won't take half the job. Or will you take half the job?
Excuse me. I'm sorry. Are you making tactical decisions?
No.
The people who just punched their way into a room and threw hammers around and made everything so much worse.
It worked, didn't it?
They were having a conversation that we joined into.
Nils chips in with, I think it could have gone better.
Well, it went slightly better than
think?
the worst it could have gone. So, hooray!
I'll be honest, guys.
No.
I'm not the most, on top of all of this. I'm just here to listen.
Right.
Right. Okay. Well, I just think that whoever's in charge should make sure we don't do things like that again.
Who's in charge? I don't know who's in
I
charge.
don't know. I thought you were talking about who was going to be in charge. It's really hard for me to climb down from this kind of energy, and I don't really know what to do with it.
Well, Elassie is matching you with it, and she goes, well, currently, they've been telling me that this lizard person is going to be in charge of our spies. This lizard person that they broke out of a prison last night. I have fought for this rebellion.
Can we not make this racially charged? That's all I'm asking.
Are you not a lizard person? I am a lizard person. Would you not call me an elf? I mean, you're an elf. There, is that racially charged or what?
Yeah, it's really racially charged.
Just learn people's names.
Yeah!
Elassie, Gashik, Elassie,
Well,
you're
no one
introduced.
has introduced me to them.
Well-
That's half the problem.
Oh, I'm
Well,
so
now
sorry.
you're
Elassie,
introduced.
Gashik, this is Elassie. Gashik used to be in a prison. Elassie used to be with some elves.
And how long
Discuss.
ago was he in the prison? There's
Yesterday.
Like yesterday, we rescued him.
my point stands.
Well, in fairness,
That's a good point.
they did show us the way into the keep, and
Yeah, I was there.
You see, I did. I was instrumental, I would say.
I would say like, this is just one dwarf's opinion, and I've forgotten her name.
Elassie.
No,
Brodrin.
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 Roldrin, feel free to disagree, but it seems like there could be two distinct branches of almost like a secret service and an underground.
Are those the same
Listen,
Yeah.
listen, Gregor. I made it clear from the very beginning that I'm good at one thing. Don't bring me into this. I don't talk about intelligence. I'm here to run your military. You tell me what to hit, I'll hit it.
Sorry, ma'am.
Kashyyyk, can I ask a question if it's not too personal?
Call me man, fine.
Ma'am.
Oh, man. Well, I tell you what, why don't you ask the question and I'll see if it's personal.
Why were you in prison?
That's personal.
Well, yeah, that's why I asked if I could ask a personal question, because I assumed the answer was personal.
Roll a persuasion check.
19's on fire.
Listen,
No, that's her job.
I may have killed a few people, but they were not innocent people. And we've all been killing people who are not innocent over the last 4 days.
There is no judgment for you killing non-innocent people. That's totally fine. Ilassi, what would you say you would bring to the role of Spy Master?
Yes.
I'm opening a debate.
Yes.
Should we not hold interviews in like the ground floor of these people's house? Should we maybe move?
What's wrong with the street? Everyone here's lovely.
I know. I thought we were still like in the
Sorry,
ground.
no, we are out on
sorry.
the street in front of the person.
Also, there's food here, and food tends to calm down these things. I mean, an apple still.
Yeah, James just had a loaf of bread for like the past 2 minutes.
There's some lovely
That's the reason I haven't been
meat.
talking. I haven't had nothing to say. I've just not been able to speak.
Breakfast meat.
Full of carbs. Ilassi turns to you and goes, listen, if I'm going to have to present to you my curriculum vitae, then
I have no idea what that means.
What does that mean?
That's fine. My life's work has been to map the Oakham Bramble, the most difficult and twisted forest in this country. I feel like I could run a spy network.
She could run a spy network, that's really true.
How about
I already have a unit of rangers that answer to me. There's the beginning of it for to start with. You're saying that I don't have connections.
But everyone in this town has either been enslaved or dead for a while, Kashyyyk. What connections do you have?
Oh no. You've saved many people here. A good 700 or so. And I know at least half of them.
Well, that's A, very disconcerting. And, disconcerting is a big word for Kess, I'm sorry. That's A, really scary. And B, another good argument. I mean, they both seem great.
I guess they'll have to fight to the death.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
No.
It's how we settled it in the prisons.
I mean, I think that could be fun to watch as well, you know.
No, we're not doing that because also, you know what'll happen? Someone will go down and I'll have to cure their wounds again because apparently that's what I keep doing for all of you.
Claire, if it's a fight to the death, then you need to cure their wounds because they're dead.
But I don't want them to be dead.
I don't either want them to be
I
dead,
don't
but if they
either.
can't agree...
Jane,
There are other ways of doing things.
How about one of them takes the city and one of them takes beyond the city?
Ooh.
Other ways of doing things.
and who do they answer to?
Well, who's in charge?
This is my point.
But no, who's in charge generally? I don't know.
We're still
Matters
figuring
of
it
the-
out.
No, listen. If one of us is taking outside and one of us is taking inside the city walls, who do they answer to?
Well, who's in charge of the whole thing?
Yeah. Is that Simon?
Is Simon in charge of the whole thing?
That's what has been said in the last hour or so.
Then you both answered to Simon. That makes perfect sense.
Awesome.
But we have no jurisdiction with each other.
Aye, the two completely separate entities.
You can still talk to each other.
Yeah, it might be
Still
beneficial.
feels like half a chair.
It might be beneficial if you shared information.
Intelligence services don't share information.
That's what they want you to think.
Well, I have a proposal because I think I've worked this one out. If you handle the outside and you handle the inside, and then you meet up, like, I don't know, once a week and have like a sort of progress report meeting about what's happening on the outside and how it's affecting the inside, what's happening on the inside and how it's affecting the outside, then you both have different chairs.
That sounds like a
One of these
fantastic
days, that
plan
lady's
that I
gonna
just
land
came
on
up with.
something as stubborn as she is.
James, did you have a thought about this?
Oh no, I didn't say none.
No, I'm as the GM.
Oh.
What's James feeling at this moment?
Not really too keen on vigilantes, so not really too keen on, what was his name again?
Gashik.
Gashik. Not really.
They.
No,
They.
not. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not really too keen on Gashik in general, but not really. It feels like he hasn't been here long enough to judge any of these people as though he'd been here the whole time. Like he's not gonna.
Yeah, again, they. But
Well, no. I mean, like everyone in the entire group, not just the two people who are arguing. I mean, like. I've not been here long enough to know anybody.
Right, James hasn't been
I
here.
mean, our
Yes.
behaviour has been distinctly questionable. It's very fair.
Your behaviour has been very questionable, but when's it not?
Not mine.
I was asked to do a thing. I did it.
Flair?
It sounds to me like it's a good idea to have someone for the inside and someone for the outside, because then, you know, you can really focus on it. And yeah, if Simon keeps in charge of things and then we keep doing this where we all talk to each other, that sounds good to me.
Awesome.
Well,
Diplomacy.
if Kashyyyk feels like they're sharing their chair, I keep doing it as well, they're sharing their chair, then I'm quite happy to be called head of rangers or something.
That's a cool title.
That sounds pretty cool. You
Like-
don't want that title, do you, Gashik? You don't.
I mean, are rangers spies?
Well, you'd be Master of Whisperers. That's a pretty cool
I
name.
think that's from a book.
It sounds vaguely familiar.
Maybe call it something else so we don't get
Spy
sued.
master.
There we go.
Yeah,
Spy.
spy master will be fine.
Aye, Spy Master.
So master
You're a
of,
master.
Master of Rangers and Spy Master. These are two separate jobs and probably two separate chairs or stools.
Aye, and you're still happy for me to do the military?
Well, yes, look at you.
Aye.
And you think I'm going to take your research and development?
Looking into the ore stuff? I
Yes.
think. Yeah?
That makes perfect sense. Are we done here then?
Sounds cool.
I think, well, Simon's still up with the people in the house.
And he'll be what? Mayor of Goldcrest?
Yeah?
Something like that, anyway.
Then it's all sorted.
That's first.
Right.
I'm so glad we came to this lovely conclusion.
Fantastic.
And a lot quicker than usual.
A lot quicker than usual.
Is it like, can we rest here or something? Because I'm still not great.
I wouldn't argue with that.
Yeah? Is everyone okay if we just wait here for a bit? I mean, we've got to wait for Simon to come down anyway.
I'm eating an apple.
Yeah, you can have a short rest.
You're
That's
always
fine.
eating an apple.
It's almost like it's a character trait or something.
You can have a short rest if you want.
Yay!
Why
Let's
not?
have
boys
this.
back.
Let's have this basket of meat and cheese and bread that
Ooh,
Worf
breakfast meat.
brought
Love
us.
Yes, Worf is eager to share his bread now that Kid Matt is not around.
So am I about to get all my am I about to get some of my spell slots back for this rest or not?
Nope, sorcerer.
Sorcerer.
Yeah, it's a short
wizard.
rest. You can roll some hit dice if you want though and get some hit points back.
I'm only missing 6 of them.
As you're having this short rest, Gashik goes, I have a proposition, if it will help the council.
Okay.
The cults tended not to go in for gold too much. No. They preferred the ore, as I'm sure some of you know all too well.
Well, this as I pull out a grenade of it. It's
Yes.
some pretty cool ore.
That ore.
Aye.
But what this means is that with my squirreling away, I've been able to create quite a stockpile of gold down in the prison.
Ooh. We didn't see any of that as we came in. You kept that quiet.
Well, he's a spy
I was
master.
waiting to see whether you'd hold up your end of the bargain, and you seem to have done that.
That is fair enough.
We have done that.
Thank you.
Mate with the gold.
Well,
Or something nicer.
I'll go and get it, shall I?
Sure.
Well, do you need like us to come with you if there's that much gold?
Aye.
Need to
There's a
help
lot you
carry
might
it?
need a pair of strong arms. Guess?
And if there are still those
I
magma
am
things
not a very
around,
strong person. I don't know where you got that impression from.
Can I get an insight check from Gregor and from?
Oh.
Well,
So,
yeah, James.
is this like, is he just legging it? That is 8.
21.
21? You're not questioning this because
No,
your
awesome.
character doesn't question things.
Correct.
17.
17. So you two get a sense that Gashik doesn't necessarily want you to come with them, but they feel like they're in a corner here.
If you don't want us to come, we won't.
But you said
That's
it
a
was a lot
deception.
of gold, so...
It is a lot of gold, yes. Perhaps I could use some people to carry some gold.
Perfect.
But maybe I should go ahead to just check that it's still there.
Well, where exactly...
Yeah, you can now roll an insight
Where
check.
exactly are we going? Like, could you draw us a map or something?
That is a
12, that thing.
21.
Yeah, it's quite obvious what they're trying to do. They're trying to keep some of the gold for themselves.
Are you trying to keep some of the gold for yourself?
What? No!
It's fine if you are. It's your
I
gold.
think you are. I don't know. I get this hunch. Should we just come with you and help carry it?
Why do
That
you
might
think we'd be
easier.
annoyed by that? It's your stockpile.
Aye.
Well, I'm just used to all this betrayal and stabbing in the back and... Prison was hard, guys.
Well, we're not. Well, we are not going to be all about that. We're going to be a good organisation of lovely people.
A government, if you will.
Yes.
Besides,
But not
I
a bad
physically
one.
can't stab you in the back. I don't have any daggers. Actually,
I've seen
I
sorcerers.
stand corrected. I stand corrected. I don't even have one dagger. I have two.
Do you not also have the spell Cloud of Daggers?
Stab you in the everywhere.
Okay, so as you join Gashik, yeah, I'm afraid so. As you join Gashik heading towards their stockpile of gold, that's where we're going to have to end this hour of Adventurers Wanted. Sure. Thank you very much for coming. Please do spread the word about the show on your social medias and face to face if people still do that. We're on Twitter at Adventurers250, where our stage managers are live tweeting the entire event for you to keep up if you're elsewhere in the Fringe. We're also on twitch.tv/Adventurers Wanted. In fact, on Facebook, on Instagram, we're Adventurers Wanted all across your social medias. There is Patreon as well, and a donate button on our website if you'd really like to help us out. We do monthly shows in London, and also we run free play events where we're trying to bring D&D to a much wider, more inclusive audience. If you do want to come back and check out the next 74 odd hours, please do feel free to refresh your ticket at the box office. You can also check and see if there are any of our limited numbers of player tickets to come up and play with us. They are selling out though. So go and ask about that. Have I forgotten anything? We're going to throw over to our players quickly and just ask them to plug things that they're at in the Fringe.
If you've enjoyed this scene of diplomacy, you might enjoy other tabletop games. Tabletop Scotland is the first weekend of September, the 1st and 2nd, at the Jura Centre in Perth, and there are hundreds upon hundreds of role-playing games available. You can come down and watch. There's all sorts of exhibitions and a few panels as well, I believe. I have flyers.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chris. I do PR up here at the Fringe when I'm not playing D&D. So if you head to chrishislop.com, that's HISLOP. I'm working with 12 different fun clients who do quite quelty anarchic shows, but like this one around the Fringe. So if that's your kind of flavour, do head there. I also saw a great show last night. The Loud Poets have their new game show Spectacular, which is a poetry game show, and it's amazing. It's a really good laugh. They are fantastic people. That's on at the Scottish Storytelling Centre until the end of the month at 9:30. Do check it out.
Awesome.
I'm not working on anything else at the Fringe, and in my head I'm going, this show probably doesn't need a plug because apparently it's doing quite well, but this is more for your benefit because it's awesome and you should see it. There's a show called Wolf at Underbelly Cowgate. I can't remember what time. I think it's 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock most days. And it's like a one-man hilarious neo-noir type thing. There's robot ninjas and stuff, and it's absolutely phenomenal.
The only thing I wanted to say was a shout out, and I already gave that the last hour or so.
Do it again.
Shoutouts to the guild.
Fantastic.
You know who you are.
Brilliant. And we've just been joined in the room by Dom, and I would just like to say that I saw his show yesterday, Providence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go see
As
that.
a massive
awesome.
Lovecraft fan, it is the best theatre piece about Lovecraft I've ever seen. So,
Have you seen any
well done.
others?
I actually have, yeah, here at the Fringe. Surprise, surprise. All right, so thank you very much for coming, guys.
Thank
See
you.
you again.
Thank you.